Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you why these shoes are essential for autism, and all that is coming up. Of shoes that were made for people on the autism spectrum. You can see I've worn these like day in day out. A blue stretchy thing over the tongue, which basically makes this almost like a slip-on shoe. So hey, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dan, I have autism, and I make weekly videos on this type of content. So if you want to learn more about that, remember to hit the subscribe button by clicking that notification bell. Okay, so I want to talk about these shoes okay, let me show you. So in front of me on my desk, I actually have two pairs of Vans trainers or sneakers or whatever you want to call them. They're basically shoes, right? These are extremely different to these, not only just because of the shape, but because of what they do. And I'm going to explain a little bit more about that right now. So for those of you who don't know, autism comes with a lovely bolt-on condition called sensory processing disorder, or SPD for short. Now this processing disorder actually impacts a lot of the person's life. It could be things like they don't like certain smells of like cologne or perfume, or they don't like smells of foods. They may have issues with textures of food, the temperature of certain food. It could even be situational, where if they're in one restaurant they can eat pizza, but in the other restaurant they couldn't eat pizza. There's a whole bunch of things that we could go into, and I'll leave a link for a video all about sensory processing disorder in the description down below, on the card above, and on the end slate of this video. But in terms of sensory processing disorder in this instance, I'm talking about sensory processing disorder with issues around clothing. So clothing is such an interesting experience for people on the autism spectrum. Now, most of the people on the autism spectrum who do have an SPD condition will favor clothes with less tags because those tags become irritating. They may feel like just a bit of material on the back of your t-shirt, but for autistic people, that's like somebody taking a razor blade or a saw and putting it in the back of your t-shirt, and you're like, like, what is going on? But because of that, things like socks and shoes are a huge deal. Now, socks have with them kind of like a lot of those like larger seam areas where like the sock on the inside has a huge seam that touches your foot, and that touching of the foot could be a sensory overload and a trigger. Now, why is it important to lower sensory overloads and triggers in people on the autism spectrum? Well, it's pretty simple. If you're getting overloaded by things like socks and shoes, then you're more likely to have an autism meltdown, which is not a good thing. It's not good for your mental health. It's not good for you as an individual. So yeah, there's a lot of irritations that can happen and occur. Now, with shoes in general, shoes have a robust structure that is there's multiple of different seams and sewing and how it's fused together, and there's glue and there's all kinds of stuff, right, that makes a shoe a shoe. Now, in terms of having a shoe that is comfortable for people on the autism spectrum, this can be sometimes a huge deal. Like, autistic people may just favor Crocs. Like right now I'm wearing some Vans slides because I just find them just way more comfortable at the moment. But in terms of like trying to find a shoe that is built for an autistic person rather than a non-autistic person, which kind of really was non-existent, and I've never seen anything on a big scale, on a big make, do anything like this until Vans. So Vans decided that they were going to come out with a line of shoes that were made for people on the autism spectrum, and I'll show you those right now. So these were the shoes that Vans initially came out with, and I did a video when they launched these talking about just how amazing they were. Now, these shoes are built with autism in mind, and because of that, like, a lot of the seams on the inside are a lot smoother, and they're flatter, and they use this technology on the inside here called cumfycush, which is a technology that Vans put in their shoes, which they kind of invented, I think, or they own. I don't know if they invented it, but they own it. They definitely own it. So these were the autism shoes that they initially had. Now, I had those, and as you can see, I've worn these like day in day out, and actually have a pair upstairs ready to, you know, open up again once those ones wear out, because I have to buy two of everything because I get panicked that I'm never going to find them again. Also, I just like to make sure I'm prepared. So the other shoes that I want to talk about here, and why this is important, because this leads on to the entire thing about why these shoes are better than these shoes by Vans. So I was sitting there thinking to myself, hey, why am I going out and buying, like, you know, regular Vans shoes when I can buy the regular style Vans shoes but with the cumfycush technology? Now, I wear these boots quite a lot. Like, these are my like go-to like boot. Like, I wear these pretty much all the time. Like, if I'm gonna buy shoes, if I'm gonna wear shoes anywhere, I wear the Vans boots in black. I don't normally have laces on them, but I'll explain why I'm able to have laces on these ones. And I used to have these, the low top ones, and these are elastic laces on there. So because shoelaces are a bit difficult for me. Now, if you want to buy these elastic laces, I'll leave a link down below. And also, actually, guys, if you want to buy these shoes, these exact ones I'm talking about, when I get into why they're good for autism, I'll leave a link. I'll have a link in the description where you can directly go and buy these shoes if you want to. So I realized that Vans actually released these shoes, but with the technology of cumfycush on the inside. Now, I was like, maybe this would work. So I bought a pair of these shoes with cumfycush. Now, this was a game changer, where I was having to put inserts and kind of really wear in shoes so they were comfortable and non-sensory triggering for myself when I was buying Vans trainers. When I actually bought the cumfycush version of my shoes, it was golden. I put my foot in it and it was instant heaven, because the bottom of it with the cumfycush is so squishy and sensory pleasing, and they're so smooth. There's no lumps or bumps on the inside of this shoe, which is absolutely fantastic. And because of that, I have been able to just wear these whenever I want, all the time, because this is now sensory pleasing and it's non-sensory triggering, which is the importance here. So imagine you're walking down the road and you're in these ones that are not cumfycush, and you're just walking down the road, and then all of a sudden, the sun's getting hotter and you're getting hungry, and something happens in your track where you have to change your plans, and this is quite devastating for people on the autism spectrum. Now, on top of that, imagine your shoes were giving you irritations because the seams, or they weren't comfy enough, and the actual canvas on the bottom wasn't comfy. That would just tip you over the edge, and an autistic person would have a meltdown. Now, mums and dads watching this, I know exactly that you feel me right now, so give this video a thumbs up if you completely relate to what I'm saying. So, my advice: go for cumfycush. Like I said, I'm going to leave a link for these in the description down below. But also, I want to explain about the laces. I don't normally can deal with laces on my shoes because, as you can see, with these ones, I put elastic band type of trainers laces on these trainers. Now, in terms of this one, the cumfycush ones have this kind of blue, I don't know if you can see that, it was a blue stretchy thing over the tongue, which basically makes this almost like a slip-on shoe. So I put it on, I got my girlfriend to help me tie these shoes properly, and then I put it to a measurable level where I could just put my foot in and out of this. So this absolutely is a killer awesome idea, because laces are difficult for people on the autism spectrum sometimes, and I have really difficult issues with my fine motor skills. So I've got rid of the laces because now I've got this slip-on technology. It's cumfycush and it's the style I like. Now, that being said, Vans don't just only do that type of boot with the cumfycush. They actually do a whole range of shoes with cumfycush, and if you click on the link down below to go through to purchase those ones, then you can have a look at the other shoes that Vans have available. Now, I just found this just absolutely amazing. The technology for cumfycush was just groundbreaking, because I think not only is it just a nice comfy shoe, but it's groundbreaking for autism and autism in general. I think that more people really need to have that experience that I'm having now, rather than just wearing shoes. Now, they do them for toddlers and for children, so if you have a toddler or a young child on the spectrum, these are going to be perfect for that. Now, my journey with this is that I used to wear Vans shoes all the time, but I'd have to keep taking them off and then just having barefoot to give my feet a rest, because the sensory overload in that was just so triggering for me. It was just ridiculous. Now, compare that to where I am today, where I can just put on a pair of Vans shoes and I can go to any Vans store and buy these cumfycush versions of the shoes. It's changed my life. It's changed my ability to not have to worry about my trainers. And when I'm out somewhere, I don't have to worry about thinking, oh, now I buy a new pair of trainers, now I have to buy these elastic laces. I know that the cumfycush ones that I buy have those elasticy kind of tongue insert, which is absolutely fantastic. Now, this to me is groundbreaking, and if you think that this is going to be helpful for somebody, please share this video on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, because helping somebody is just the best way to care about someone. Also, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.